Hey everyone, this is Andy Hall. This is the After Party After Show for the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. With me is John Hudson and Simply Secular Dave. I hope you're all doing well.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Like the flag there, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not mine. I stole it from somebody else's website.
You're very handsome nonetheless.
Yeah.
How's things where you guys are?
Things are fine. You know, just I got up really early. Got up at like 4:30 this morning.
So did I, but it was 3 hours later than you.
Oh, right. Yeah. And so I'm trying this new food regimen. I boiled up some eggs, did some beans. I'm going to try to do some low carb stuff or lower carb stuff. I did it before about 2 years ago, and I dropped a bunch of weight. And I don't need to drop a bunch of weight, but I need to do a little bit. So I think I'm going to try the low carb thing for a little bit.
Now, when you don't look funny at me when I say this. When you work out, you need carbs to burn fuel so that you can build muscle mass. And do you need to get into better shape or do you need to lose weight? Because these are...
I'm going to check and mate you right here, which sounds kind of weird, right? But it's Pride Month, so it's all okay. So I actually have been, since I've been working this job, I've been getting actually quite a bit of aerobic exercise in moving around because it's on your feet kind of job.
Yeah. And
to tell you the truth, a lot of places that I work at, I do walk to. So I've been up on my aerobic exercise, and have I just given up on? And I know I need to do some weight training. I have weights right over here. Well, you can't see, they're off screen. I know I need to do some weight training.
Is Biscuit playing with them in the corner?
Biscuit is probably downstairs bothering my girlfriend. I think she's on a business call, and Biscuit loves to interfere.
Yep.
Interfere with business calls.
That's a smart cat.
Smart cat, man. It's like, why am I going to bother Andy? Andy's just here talking to a camera, right?
And if I go up there, Andy's going to get a whole bunch more likes, and that's just not going to work for anybody.
Well, I was hoping. You see, the cat was literally, I was just hanging out with the cat 2 minutes before the Disappointed Cat Morning Show, and I'm like, it'd be so great to show you and to everyone. And no, she's just like, I'm done with you. I got other cat stuff to do.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, exactly. If we lived on one floor, I think there'd be a greater chance of her coming up here. But I think she's much more happy to chill on the first floor and then go up to see the girlfriend on the second floor. And this is like just, I don't know why I'm coming up here. I think that's what the cat says, unless we are like going up and down the stairs,
Right.
which she loves to do. Man, I've just spent the last 3 freaking minutes talking about my cat.
Well, it's still getting acclimated to the house.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
You know?
Does it do that thing where when you're walking up the stairs, it tries to like weave between your legs as you go up?
Funny thing that you should ask, Dave, is that Biscuit has been really good at hugging the left.
Oh.
Hugging on the left-hand side. It's only
More people should embrace the left.
Yeah, this is true. It's only recently that she started doing this kind of meandering behavior, which, I mean, I'm sure the cat enjoys it. Just dramatically increases my chance of falling down 3 flights of stairs, which I'm not particularly fond of.
No,
after 50, it's not fun.
Yeah, dude, I have to tell you, as a person who blew out their ankles, my ankles are proportionately. Oh, this is Andy talking about his weird body stuff again. My ankles are just as thin as my wrists are. They are like super thin. And so my goal has been to stay vertical, which I've been able to do a great job in doing. Yeah.
Well,
Even a little drunk.
Now, do you have good balance or should you be doing more yoga?
Shit balance. You got to have core strength to have good balance. And so to tell you the truth, I am once again very good at not falling. So I'm clumsy, but I don't fall that often. The last time I fell it's been years. It's been years. Yeah.
I actually took a pretty serious tumble in my bathtub which resulted in excessive bleeding. And
What did you cut?
I slipped in. I was having a quick shower, and you get all soapy as quick as you can. You start showering off. You take a step back, and whoop! And I kind of spun halfway, rotated, and my ankle came up underneath the tap. And
oh, wow, dude!
Yeah, it split me open about an inch wide. And of course, I put my hand when I came down. My head hit the side of the tub as well. So I put my hand on my ankle, which I didn't realize was bleeding yet. I've got soap in my eyes. I'm in the bottom of the tub, and I'm trying not to drown and breathe in water. So I took my hand off my ankle and went to feel my head to see if it was bleeding. And of course, my hand's covered in blood from my ankle. And I'm like, oh, shit.
I cut my head open.
Ow.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. Yeah.
That's taking it to the extreme, Dave.
Yeah. So I washed myself off and got myself stitched up. Canadian healthcare and all that.
You've given me so much good advice over the last couple of weeks that I am going to mail you some of my anxiety. Because maybe I have enough to go around. So send me your address. Message me, and I will send you a box of anxiety, which will help you. Just the right amount. Just the right amount.
Get that balance.
Just to get the balance in. Yeah.
We have to have levels.
You was talking about diet. I'm thinking I'm gonna do the farm diet, where if I can't raise it, I ain't eating it.
No, well, that's an interesting idea.
Just
idea drink.
Oh, idea drink. Right.
I was going to say I could produce that here too.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting question. How's your shower tub mat situation going, Dave? Are you a mat person?
I am. Now, Andy, you got into the whole ankles and wrists thing about your thing and your anxiety. So I'm going to expose myself a little bit here.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that likes a very clean bathtub, and I don't stick little flowery sticky things in it, and I don't put bath mats in it, and I don't pile a whole bunch of crap around the edges of it. I like to be able to go into the shower when it's clean and leave it clean. I have a little thing that hangs around the shower. I have one of those shower massager heads so that I can wash the whole shower down, and shampoo, soap, little conditioner, maybe a cloth or a scrubby, nothing else in there. So on the bottom, if I want to clean the tub, I don't want to go in there and have to worry about cleaning around little sticky things that are on the bottom of the tub to keep me from falling down, or a bath mat or other garbage. I don't like the things that the soap bottle leaves around the tub, that sort of thing. Plain glass door, tile walls.
Well, the good thing about the glass door, my friend, is that if you trip and fall again, there's a chance you can go through the door.
What? Yeah, I suppose.
Positive thinking. That's what you get on this show.
That's tempered glass.
So it'll be angry at you. That's what you're saying. It'll be broken and angry at the same time.
Yeah. All I'd need then would be a cat to lick up the blood.
No, you're not very likely to get cut with tempered glass.
No.
A lot of the time, it's just asking questions, and hopefully there are points that people hear the words that come out of their mouths and they say, how about that? So I'm not even going to give you any crap, Dave. You're a solid guy. I'm just, and you're, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I just hope that you don't fall and crack your freaking head open, or your other ankle, or any bodily, anything, any part of your body.
Well, I will say that, being the age we are, and I can say that, Andy, because we're very close to the same age.
We are.
I was over 200 pounds on January 1st, and since I got some pretty steady work, and I was moving and doing a lot more stuff, aerobically speaking, working around the house, doing yard. Now I have to push a lawnmower around every couple of weeks. I'm doing more physical activity, particularly at work. I'm down to 183.5 pounds.
Dude, that's a lot of weight. Good job.
Yeah. And I don't want to get any lighter than that. I think 179 is the lightest I would ever want to be. but I do have to start throwing around the weights and
Is that your high school weight? $179?
176.
Did you put it all on in the last year?
Yeah, all of that. I was at my peak. I used to be into a lot more sports. We played soccer, volleyball, hockey, and other sports, and tons of bike riding. And at my peak physicality, I was 196 pounds, and I was pretty ripped. And I did not realize that I was in that good of shape at the time. I was just drinking beer, having a good time, hanging out with the guys.
Sure.
You know, taking life for granted as a
motherfucker.
As a typical white male in Canada does. But when I was into hardcore cycling and we were doing, 70 to 90 kilometers a week, I was down around 179. That was pretty hardcore. We were doing a lot of mountain biking up and down the mountains.
Right.
So we were pretty light back then.
Lee wants to know, how tall are you, dude?
I am 5'10".
Oh, 5'10". That's 5'10" Canadian. I don't know what the the rates are here in the States if you're 5'10" Canadian.
What's the metric system say?
I'm what was I, 186 centimeters or something like that? I forget what it was. I looked it up a while ago, and I have no idea how many stone I am, but yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty average. I mean, like I said before, I can walk into any store and find clothes that fit me in under 5 minutes. I've never gone shopping for more than half an hour in my life.
Oh, me too, dude.
You're a purchaser. You're a purchaser. That's what I go into a store. I know what I'm going in there for. I grab it and I get the fuck out. I don't touch anything unless I'm buying it. That's the first rule of sales. I mean, put it in your hand. That gives a sense of ownership. It's fucking theirs. It's out the door.
I have literally gone into the store and pulled up my belt and showed them the label on the back of my pants and said, "Tell me what you have in these. Maybe something in black, maybe something, And they're like, "Oh, they're right over here." And they pick up. Here you go.
Perfect.
I like the idea of the Einstein wardrobe too, man. The same thing every fucking day. Take the guesswork out of it.
Oh, I like it too. Yeah.
I've got so much invested into wardrobe, and I'm keeping that shit till I die. I give away everything else, but I'm keeping the fucking clothes.
Do you have a good hat collection there, John? Because I think I've seen you in a couple of different ones.
Yeah, I've got several different hats. I'm a boot whore is my problem.
Oh.
Boot whore. I've probably got 10, 15 pair of cowboy boots.
Nice.
And then sport coats. I've got velvet jackets with the silk collars. I mean, I can dress it up wherever I want to, and it's usually a little bit loud or extremely drab. It's either black or it's loud, depending on my mood. And I seem to have two of them.
I think my style could be best summarized as just sarcastic. That's
sarcastic.
You might be surprised at that. Especially my t-shirts, yeah.
It's sarcastic substitute teacher, scientist, politician, somewhere in there.
I used to take my family to the Pride Parade in Salt Lake just because, I wanted, my daughter to meet people. I had several friends that were gay growing up and stayed in touch with them over the years. And, but, I just don't look fucking good in chaps. Yeah.
You have to have the right legs for that.
My wrinkly old ass is fucking scary.
John, I used to live on Davie Street in Vancouver. That was literally 3 blocks away from where the street party was for Pride Week. So from, I think it was Thursday night until Sunday afternoon, there was no cars on the street, and there was just music pumping and great food trucks, people doing shows. There's a couple of nightclubs down there that were open extended hours. There was drag shows. There was all kinds of stuff going on.
My daughter loves drag. Her husband too. But my daughter's built a business doing weddings for mainly gay people.
Cool.
And it's huge. And I mean, it's flown her to the Bahamas, and she did one up in California in Frisco just a couple months ago. I mean, she gets paid top dollar to it, but she's because of the way she was raised, you know.
Yeah.
She had,
Yeah.
the people that lived next to me in Salt Lake, they were from the deep South, and you know, they come over, tell me that is the most colorblind child I have ever met. You know, because she gets along with people. She just got another job offer here in Austin that $10,000 extra, and she told him she's pregnant. You know, thinking that's going to be the deal breaker. You know, she goes, "I'm 5 months pregnant. You know, I'm going to be having to take leave. What you going to offer me?" And they're like, "We'll give you 6 weeks paid time off," which in America is fucking phenomenal. You know, and then she always asks me. I take care of the boy. Right now, I got him down on this computer doing math, just games and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the little guy's 4. He turns 5 in 2 weeks, and I mean, his addition, subtraction. He goes to me the other day, "Grandpa, what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6?" And I'm like, he's like, "It's 21." You know, and I'm still trying to calculate it in my head. And then reading. He can read to me anything, and I this experiment's working out good. Where I don't work anymore. I teach a boy. I've got a baby granddaughter coming, and you know, I raised my daughter on my own, and she's fucking brilliant, and I'm able to dedicate myself to it 24/7, which
you are very lucky.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm living the dream. I got some fucked up health issues, but you know what? That's just shit. You know, you know, you're dying after 20.
Trust me, my whole 20s were spent trying to kill myself. So.
You know, if you're not growing, you're dying. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you mentioned drag shows earlier, and during Pride Week many years ago when I lived downtown, I worked with a very diverse office of people, and a couple of friends of mine said, "Hey, there's a drag show at Oasis. You should come down and check it out." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's go do that. That'll be fun, you know, glitter, party, singing, you know, booze. And it's walking distance from home. Great, I'm in." So I go down there and I meet this lovely woman, and we're sitting there talking at this table because she was sitting alone and my friends had gone off to talk to the performer that they knew. So the two of us were sitting next to each other alone, and we end up chatting. She comes over to my table, sits there with me. My friend comes back and taps me on the shoulder and does, "Dave, stop hitting on that woman. Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "No, I just met her." "That's Ashley Madison."
Oh.
The one who the website is named.
Oh shit! That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Ashley Madison, indeed. Wow.
That would have encouraged me at that point. Yeah.
You're just super nice. I was like, "Wow, this is great. I just met a cool new person," right?
Blazing says Danish pregnancy leave is mandatory 4 weeks before birth and 20 weeks after the birth, for the mother, and the father has just as much time. Yeah. I heard about that there's an equivalency between mothers and fathers after the birth. I'm sorry, but that is a good story. You could have been Mr. Ashley Madison at some point.
Hey, it wasn't that kind of a conversation.
It wasn't that kind
Yeah,
of
baby.
Hey,
You like the hard stuff? She gets all upset. "No, I just wanted to buy you a shot."
Yeah.
Well, there are sometimes that you know, when I was out and about much more than I am now, you know, I would just try out material in front of, you know, if I'm ordering coffee or try a joke out or something like that. It's like, no, I'm not hitting on you. What I am doing is trying out the shitty joke I just wrote a little while ago.
I have to admit, I'm kind of an oblivious dater. I'm not very good at it. And a couple of girlfriends ago, I dated this girl from the softball league I was in, and she said to me, like, "Don't you remember the season-ending party last year when I came over and sat with you and, you know, got all dressed up, was looking really nice for the party? We hung out for a while, and then you just left." And I'm like, were we flirting? Was that what was going on? I totally over
Dave,
my head. Didn't get it at all.
Yeah, Dave. Speaking as someone who has missed many social cues in this particular area, I totally sympathize with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ship came in and I was at the airport.
I wrote a new joke and I didn't know if the girlfriend was in the chat.
Speaking of ships, let's see what's going on the workboard today.
I don't think I am. I don't feel confident enough about this joke. Maybe I'll save it for the next time I'm drinking and I'm and I'm doing a live show.
Did you see the absolutely awful joke that I sent you on the Twitter DM the other day?
I probably did, Dave. Because I do read your stuff. I don't always.
Don't read it on here. It'll get us all killed.
Okay, I won't read it. I won't read it out loud.
No, I thought you might try that out on the girlfriend.
Oh, really? Huh? All right.
About it's a free country.
I'm trying to get to it now.
Oh no! Don't look it up. Look it up after the show.
I'll look it up after the show.
Right. By the way, well done at the halftime break, doing the like, share, and tell all your friends.
I try my best. That's
what'd you get?
I know you're trying to joke it out. We might have to get like me and Jason from Dragons and Brainbug to do a collaborative to get us to say, hey, Andy's our favorite show. You should all like, and then have another one say, and share, and tell all your friends.
Well, that's really clever. That's what.
Yeah, and then you can just hit play on that and run that as a video at halftime.
You would be at the top of my Christmas card list. That's what you would be. Considering I have no one on my Christmas card list. You're on my Christmas. No, that's not true. I have one person.
I could do one for you. It'd be like, you're a fucking bitch if you don't like Andy.
I'm pretty sure Rage already did that one.
Yeah.
Rage and Neil and them, they've got that covered.
Indeed.
I will assault you if you don't assault the like button.
Yeah, Rage is a pretty big guy, isn't he?
He's 6'5", I think, isn't he?
Jesus Christ.
And Neil's 6'4". Randolph's
what them boys been fed?
Yeah, and a number of them are larger fellas.
Yes, indeed.
In the community, yeah.
I will say this: I was just before I came on the show today. I've been emailing Monica Miller, who is I guess this is an announcement of sorts. She's a legal director and senior counsel at the American Humanist Association. Oh. So she's going to be coming on this channel. Going to be doing
one of your evening broadcasts.
It's either an evening one or sometimes I just drop broadcasts down. It all matters what her availability is like. Right. So if she's around at 10:30 at night on a Sunday, then we'll do a live show. If not, then I'll do a recorded show and then drop it on Sundays at 10:30. But I am excited about it. Once again, Monica Miller, legal director and senior counsel at the American Humanist Association. So yeah, I just found that out just before.
Yeah, I found out just last year that YouTube has more than just music videos. That's all, and Frank Zappa documentaries and stuff like that. That's all I was. And like I said, I got turned on to you, and I did catch a little bit of brain bug the other day because I thought it was just his parents had real imagination, named it Brain Bug. Yeah. I didn't realize it was a YouTube handle.
Well, thanks, Dragons and Genesis. I appreciate it.
So, my daughter likes you enough that she gave you that $20 the other day, Andy.
Well, I do appreciate that. Every penny and shekel counts. There's no doubt about it.
No, they take good care of me.
What I find interesting is that I've been blogging for a long period of time, and I've only been on YouTube for a short period, like a year, maybe, seriously. And there's just a lot of people I just don't know. Neil brings new people on the show whenever we do Atheists Drinking Out Loud, or maybe Seamus does. It's like, yeah, I should know you, but I don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There's-
the shame, the Neil. The first I heard about him was your Saturday show,
Yeah.
and I think I've caught Seamus once before, and that's because Jimmy was promoting that.
Jimmy Lou. He's a funny guy.
And yeah, I guess he's got something going on. He sent me a message the other day that he's got some kind of fuckery going on the YouTube. You know.
All right.
And he's a funny fucking prick. I really like him. He's Canadian. You know.
Oh, is he?
And I do hold that against him.
Jimmy has a great story. He was on this channel.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he has a great story.
But that's part of the algorithms, right? The what you look at is what they feed you, because they want, that's if you log into YouTube with a username, it tracks everything you click on and everything that's on your screen for more than a certain number of seconds. Those all go into your preferences and favorites.
You know what? I got the algorithm so fucked up because I got a 4-year-old that's pounding on these keyboards on the YouTube shit. So I mean, they don't know what to send me.
I hate commercials so much that I close them all the time.
Yeah.
And YouTube started sending me commercials in different languages because it thought that I wasn't English.
Wow. Wow.
Doesn't your ad blocker keep it off?
For the most part, yeah.
I'll occasionally, if I've got it streaming to the TV, it'll pop up with a commercial, but it's usually 5-6 second commercial and only one during the program.
Mine usually come up and they're frozen, right? If they do come up, they're just still screen. They don't play. So I just click off of them. But yeah, I did that so many times. I started getting. I'm like, is that Spanish? What's going on here?
Yeah. A lot of my feed, unsurprisingly, there's some science stuff. There's a lot of history stuff. There's a lot of World War II stuff.
I love the history.
Yeah.
I like Western American history. Just
Sure.
it wasn't as it wasn't pretty,
This is true.
but it's a story that never needs to be forgotten.
Yeah.
What I would like to see happen with all these statues we're talking about, I'd like to see them put in one great big fucking museum. Give him a reason why the people thought he was great, but then put an addendum onto that plaque, because they're already celebrating that motherfucker or whatever. Put a reason why after time it was horrible, and why people found it deplorable, and why it's wrong.
Hear me out on this. I agree with that entire plan with one small caveat.
Okay.
I would like to see the heads of those fuckers cut off.
No, I think
and you can make decaf brands that are just as tasty.
I understand your angst with the whole thing, but I think if you do it right, it's worth doing. And if you walked into a building of Confederate statues and it said, although this man was known for abhorrent behavior towards slaves during this, whatever, he was famous for this army winning this battle and whatever, but word it like that so that you can't cut one piece off and not include the other.
But you can cut the head off.
You're taking it out of context. You just don't know how to interpret the good word.
Okay. So Nathan Bedford Forrest, arguably one of the best cavalry officers, on either side of the war, also created the Ku Klux Klan. So yeah. Maybe you have a statue of him, but
if you cut his head off, or let's say you didn't cut his head off, but you just put the Klan hood over him.
Oh, I say we cut the head off and put the Klan hood over
and
him.
Put the Klan.
That's what I say. I will see you and raise you a little bit more crazy.
Would you? Yeah, I know it's difficult to see these things of these Confederate generals on horseback with a saber in the air, and perhaps they should be memorialized a different way.
Yeah. It's not necessary. People can learn history without statues, without commemorating them. Of course, once again.
But then what do we do? Nero was a cocksucker. Caligula, do you go into them and crush the busts of them. That's all I'm getting at. You don't want to forget any of the history. As evil as it is,
that's a legitimate question and mentioned in good faith, and that's a good faith question too. I would say that too soon. I'd say some people, there's one thing to like an artist from like maybe 100 or 200 years ago, and there's a distance there and separate them from their art. It is much more difficult to like Woody Allen or Louis C.K. right now. And when you see the fact that
Woody Allen was a fucking genius, is a fucking genius.
But and the thing is with the Confederate statues too, those were put up specifically, after the Civil War, after Reconstruction, many of them to keep people down or put people back down. Too soon.
I agree with you that any of them that were put there as motivation, like when they were putting those statues in front of city halls and stuff like that, years after the glorious moments of that person's life, they need to take those ones.
Show why.
But like you said about Caligula and Nero, no one's forgetting about them. So if you take Jackson or any of the famous Confederate leaders, no one's forgetting who they are. So let's educate people about who they are, about everything about who they are.
I just don't believe in destroying anything that way. Recycle it, repurpose it.
I'm with you, John. Just cut the freaking heads off.
Melt them down and turn them into AR-15.
All right.
They're traitors.
If I can have the bronze to where I can make the statue of, I don't know. I did a fireplace of Pan, mythological creature, years ago. That it was like 7 foot tall in this Greek doctor's backyard in Salt Lake. I've got some pictures of it. I'll share with you. You get to see some of my art that was larger than fucking life.
Imaginary God. The bubonic plague was a major event in history, but we don't go around putting up statues.
Actually, I don't think that's correct. If I'm not mistaken, somewhere in Europe, there is a statue that the whole base of it is covered in rats. Yeah.
Is it?
And it was to memorialize the as I think it was the nurses who were taking care of people during that time. It's either a statue or a very famous painting in a place of prominence. Yeah.
Well, that's truth in advertising, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just talking about if we're going to talk about the bubonic plague for a little bit, the book that I recommend that I've mentioned a couple of times, Through a Mirror Darkly by Barbara Tuchman, talks about the 13th century in Western Europe and about the calamitous 13th century. And you get a really good perspective about rats and people and how crazy we get even super crazy during super pandemics. Definitely worth the read.
Super crazy. Like Florida crazy or super?
Oh, like Florida, man. Every day crazy.
Fucking Texas crazy.
Oh, Texas, dude.
Dude, they just passed a fucking law on their marijuana for medical. 1% token fucking THC.
Say that again, dude.
They just passed their Senate. They just passed a bill that fucking Rowley just signed, or Abbott just signed, that the cocksuckers of medical marijuana will have 1% THC. That's not even fucking token, baby.
You'd have to smoke like a telephone pole to get really wrecked on that.
Oh fuck! Fucking Kansas City, no high. What? It's fucking political theater.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Pure fucking political theater. I mean, these are people. Watch my father die, and the doctor fucking wouldn't prescribe him Demerol and stuff. He's terminally ill. We don't want him to be an addict. Well, fuck you. Get the man out of pain. Or I'm going to put you in pain, is what I did it to the doctor. And he gave him some mild shit, but he should have been giving Pops the good shit. I know
someone who went on Marinol, which was the synthetic marijuana, and he had a very bad, anecdotal evidence, of course.
You synthesize any of that fucking shit. A coca leaf is fine to chew on. You synthesize it, and you got a goddamn addictive drug.
Well, he had a very bad reaction to the Marinol. Let me tell you, it did not interact well with the other medications he was taking, and wrecked him. Yeah, wrecked him.
You know, it's like any of the naturals. I've done fucking heroic amounts of peyote.
Heroic amounts of
Yeah.
peyote, my friend. Heroic amounts.
The mescaline, psilocybin. Shit, I tripped balls probably about a month ago. Ate a quarter ounce of shrooms and examined the farm. It was fucking awesome. I found snakes and frogs. And
I'm going to ask you, John, to either shut off your camera while your kid's in there, because I don't think
I'm gonna cut off because he just come
Okay.
to get me at my house. So I'm gonna be out.
Okay.
All right, pal.
All right, dude.
You guys all be good.
Take
Bye.
care, John.
Let's play. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
No.
All right.
There was a dog too. Did you see the dog?
I didn't see the dog now, but with kids,
Yeah.
one of those things that people get kind of crazy about that on YouTube, that you're probably well aware of.
That was one of the things that I was a little disappointed with the church group I was involved with, is there was people publishing pictures of kids and other people's kids and kids in the background of photos that weren't, blurred out or cropped out, but there was a monstrous number of media going out, video and still image, that had people's kids, and basically what they did to not make it bad, if you want to call it that, is they had everyone attending the camps sign a media waiver, so that if you're on the camp, your image, voice, or video, or combination thereof could be used as promotional material.
Yeah. Hey, Grant, how you doing?
Hey, Andy. Hey, Dave.
Hey.
I know when movies are filming nightclubs, like real nightclubs, like in Swingers, the last scene in Swingers, or one of the last scenes in Swingers, when that swing club, there will just be a sign that says, "We are filming." You are basically, by walking in here, you are agreeing to being filmed and your image being used in this movie.
In Canada, they have to be paid. So normally what they do is they will pay you a penny or $1 on a contract.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Because we have those dollar coins up here, right? The loonies.
The first time when I was in Britain, I was impressed with the coinage, right? The little pound, see, now it looks like I was given some kind of white supremacist sign there.
Wouldn't that be funny? That was the point that you got demonetized. Right?
That was the point. That was the point right there.
Oh, geez. Yeah. No, the system of coinage, I really like it out here, because the coins last a lot longer. They're easier to handle and use. Every coin operated machine takes a loonie or a toonie now, right? There's no. I mean, if you stood there and put quarters in, the person standing behind you would smack you in the back of the head and say, "Get out of the way." So, and they last longer. They're cheaper to make, right? So,
right. So how is the war on cash being up there? Do you still find that coins are useful in everyday life?
Not at all.
Yeah. All right. That's right. Yeah.
No, the whole COVID thing with tapping your card, or it's I think I've paid cash for something just off the top of my head 3 times this year. And
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah, compared to some people, that's a lot of times. Although I did buy a ladder the other day off of Craigslist. And when you meet somebody covertly in a parking lot to buy a ladder, you're not going to swipe your card. So that was a cash purchase.
Yeah. John Hudson, the thing is about YouTube rules, or about Facebook rules, and Blazing just mentioned he got thrown into FP prison for 7 days. Sarcastic in Danish. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, brother, but I'm guessing that you're not, because I had a full episode on one of the late shows about people talking about the star chamber of Facebook and how you can get yourself into trouble. But that's the thing. and you can talk to Rage about this too, is that
Yeah.
there are rules that they will place without telling you about it. And that's why, I'm always vigilant on what I do, except when I throw out the occasional curse word by
Well,
mistake.
I mean, it's responsible to err on the side of caution, right?
It is. It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons why my Facebook groups and my Facebook page has never really gotten into real trouble. Is that I'm always willing to not post something or prevent someone from posting something in case it colors outside the lines. And I like free speech, but Facebook will just take the group down forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on Neil's show, and Rage was in there with I think Jason might have been in there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
a couple other people, and they were all talking about having their Facebook page taken down, or getting YouTube strikes, or getting put into purgatory, or whatever they call it.
Mhm.
And I said, I must be doing it wrong, because I've never been like penalized on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, but I don't make a lot of YouTube content. So yeah.
Sure. I suggest for people to have one comedian friend who is like, so that you get to see what they do and when they get kicked off or get the partial bans. I figured out that from a buddy of mine, Nathan Timmel, who's been on this channel before. That's how I learned you can't use the word white trash on Facebook. You use white trash and you get banned.
I did do a thing where I have this thing called MAME, M-A-M-E, Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator. So I can take any video game that you would see in a coin-operated video game console. So Pac-Man and all those old games, Frogger, Joust, all those.
Those are great games.
Once they hit 7 years, their copyright expires, and you can download the ROM, the read-only memory, and you can play them on your computer. So what I did is I used a utility that I have here to screen capture the game doing the startup thing. So when it says insert coin, and then it goes into the preview of the game and goes through. So I did that for a whole bunch of games, and I made a 30-minute video out of it and looped it, played it in my background on the green screen behind me. And
Sure.
Neil got a copyright strike for
it. A copyright strike, that's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious. A copyright's
it's like
it's
public domain. It's like, well, I shouldn't say it's public domain. It's out of privacy or whatever. Yeah.
That's tough. Dragons of Genesis said, I got banned for identifying a snake for someone. FB said it was bullying.
Wow.
That's tough, dude. That's tough.
Yeah, and the appeals process is garbage, right?
It is. I've mentioned that a couple of times on this channel. Is that they'll be like, so you see that Facebook got one of your posts and took it down, and you're like, it goes against our community procedures, and you go, oh, there's a find out more, and it's like I hit the button and nothing goes, nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rage.
Hey, there's Rage.
We're talking about getting banned off of Facebook and getting copyright strikes.
Don't get him going.
I know it's an issue for Rage. He lost monetization from his channel because of it.
Yeah.
Got a copyright strike on YouTube for including a Dragons and Genesis logo. You got a copyright strike against yourself, sir. Hard.
That's what somebody else was saying. They used, Mikey Famine used his own piece of music and got hit for it. It's like, but what piece of music nowadays? I mean, if you're using there's an app you have on your phone that can recognize music, right?
Yep.
Shazam. Yeah.
Shazam.
So I mean, Shazam can be wrong, and I'm sure their technology isn't better than that. And if you look at how many songs are built off the same chord progressions and have similar sounding lyrics, and it's just the way that popular music is, it's made on a format, and that format is similar to the format that came before, because that's what humans find pleasing. And if you look over history, that's what we like. That's what makes it into the top 40. So they keep churning out music that's very similar. So I don't know how that system can work well enough.
It doesn't.
Apparently not.
It doesn't. Whenever I share another video, like for a buddy of mine, that video that short, it was like a music video that I was an extra for, just came out on my buddy's YouTube
Oh
channel.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to play it, but there's music in it. Am I gonna get a copyright strike because of it? I don't know. I do not know.
Well, I know some of the guys, specifically Doug from Pine Creek, and I think Paula Gia does it. But when they are showing back videos and other people's content, they play it at 1.25 speed so that it's slightly off of the original, right? And I think that the way that YouTube looks for copyrighted content, it doesn't match up. It's just that slight bit is enough to mess with it.
Interesting. So it's at 0.1.25, Dave?
Yeah, if you at the end of this video, if you showed up late to this video, you can go back to the beginning and then play it at 1.25 speed and catch up to it before the end of the video, right? And it still doesn't sound too funny. So it just alters it a little. Yeah.
Cool. Raid says my account was limited on Facebook for posting a meme about how humans are destroying the world. Yep.
I've said lots of stuff about humans destroying the world. Probably posted a couple of memes. I haven't got my hand smacked for that yet, but it's always possible. And then again, it's this is another thing that Facebook does. If you have 7 videos, they don't care what you post. If you have 70 videos, you start to get looked at. If you have 700 videos, they go through all of them.
Yep. Well, they're going to be really sad when they go through all of my videos because
Andy, you're hilarious and your content is great, and we're all here because we love you.
Oh, why? Thank you, Dave. Thank you for the affirmation.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends.
Oh, thank you. I see what you did there.
But how many? Do you know how many hours of video of content you've created so far? I know Neil's up in nearly 1,000 hours now.
Let me see what YouTube says about me. I know I have like maybe 300,000, 400,000. Well, 400 about I'm closing in on 500,000 views. I know that.
Nice.
And so, for a person who just does basic fart jokes, it's not too bad.
You do creative satire. I like
I
that.
do creative satire. Neil, I was funny when Neil was on the channel for Atheists Drinking Out Loud. He's like, I like your comedy, Andy, but not a lot of people are going to get that stuff.
I like your content because you can actually see the reactions of different people. It's like, you tell a joke and somebody laughs, and then 3 or 4 seconds later, somebody else is like, "Oh yeah."
Right. It kind of seeps in there, right?
It washes over like a wave.
He who laughs last thinks slowest.
James Henry, I've heard this. Facebook, James Henry says Facebook wants to send a copy of my ID to open up my account. There are people, atheists, who live in sketchy countries, who live in countries that it's dangerous to be an atheist in. And Facebook wants to see their ID. And there was one guest who was on this channel, and he's like, I do not feel comfortable about sending Facebook my ID in the country I live in, or even his family who lives in that country still, because it's dangerous. You don't know what will happen once your ID gets out there into Facebook.
Take a piece of business card stock, and in pencil you write on it my ID, and write your name, and then the email address that you're using for that account, and then just randomize a number and write it on the bottom right-hand corner. Take a picture of it and submit it as your ID. That's your ID. They accept that. So
will they really? Say that again, Dave, for people who didn't hear that completely.
You take a business card, just any old business card, and write your name, the email address for the account number that you're using with them or whatever. Just fake it, write it in pencil, take a picture of it, submit it as your ID.
That's great, dude. All right.
Because you submitted something, whether or not they accept it as your ID, they have an ID on file for you.
Interesting.
And don't ever send your ID, your driver's license, your state or provincial ID card, your medical card. Don't ever take a picture of that and send it to anyone. Don't ever take a picture of it and leave it on your phone. Don't leave it on your computer. I have had people give me laptops that were donated to charity organizations. And they said, hey, we can't get in here without a password. Can you crack this open and wipe it out for us to get it? And I have found the contract that they purchased their house with, their passport, their driver's license, and all their banking information is still on the computer, and they donated it to charity.
Oh, wow. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah. Yeah.
I bought some old zip disks at a garage sale a while back, and tons of confidential financial information from people I bought it from were just on the disks.
Yep. Sammy.
Yeah. Here in spirit. Here in spirit.
The other thing I was going to say about data, if you are getting rid of a computer or an old hard drive, if you've had to replace one or something, all of the companies that I've worked with, and I've worked with taxation companies, with the government, with medical science, and with other clients and customers, there is a way to wipe out the hard drive that it's called the Department of Defense 2 procedure, DoD 2. And what it does is it actually writes and overwrites the hard drive in different ways so that you don't leave a shadow of the old data on it. When you erase a file off of a hard drive, you're not actually erasing the data. What you're erasing is where the computer looks for that data. So if you went into your hard drive, if you had a spare hard drive sitting around on your desk and you went in and deleted everything off of it and handed it to me, I could bring back every single file within 24 hours. So if I go through and I shred it with DoD2 procedures, it writes it to blank and writes it to like zeros and ones, right? Binary. Yeah. 10 times over on every part of the drive. And it destroys the shadow of the drive. But I tell people, if you actually did a forensic analysis with a proper microscope on that drive, like what they do when somebody has an auto shred program on a drug dealer or a terrorist, they can still get the data back if they look at it through an electron microscope.
Wow.
So what I tell people all the time is the best way to delete a hard drive is with a screwdriver and a hammer and put 3 holes through it.
I was just going to say, yeah, maybe physical violence isn't always the answer, but it strikes me there's a pun there somewhere that maybe it is in that case.
Yep. Yeah, physically destroy the drive. Yeah. But I've done a lot of that stuff in the past, and you just don't ever take a picture of your passport or your driver's license. Like even my port pass for work. It's illegal for me to hold it in front of this camera.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah. All right.
Don't ever share your ID like that. But anyway, that's just,
it's good policy.
That's the tip. What do we call it? The public service announcement of the day.
That's great. Yeah.
Speaking of public service announcements, we may have to do a video because with COVID restrictions ending, there's a lot of people out there who are getting back into shape, who are getting haircuts, getting their nails done. Guys are shaving down the beard a little bit, taking care of a little trimming here and there, a little manscaping. And people are getting back into the dating pool.
Yes.
We need to do a public service announcement about checking all those condoms for expiry dates. Making sure the girls who are depending on being on the pill, making sure that their count of how many pills they took is correct and the dates are correct. And if they stopped for a while, then they make sure they start up in time to, catch up with potential future problems. And everyone for the first 45 days you start dating, everyone gets 3 freebies. If you haven't been, no, seriously, if you haven't been dating in a while and you go out on a first date with somebody and you're like, well, I probably wouldn't if I hadn't, if I had been involved with someone in the last 6 months, maybe I wouldn't choose this person. Maybe I'd be a little more fussy. Don't be fussy. You get 3 freebies. Get out there, get freaky, have some fun. Everybody needs a little attention. We all need a little stress reliever. Everybody gets 3.
Interesting. Sammy goes, so I shouldn't send my deets to this Nigerian person contacting me. Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I'm not dating. So yeah, that's what I am.
Yes. Well, you are dating the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, we are dating, but we're together.
No, but do you guys do date night?
The wonderful thing about not having children, or at least having older children that aren't here, is that basically is every day date night? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we do things together regularly. We 99% of the time, enjoy each other's company, except when I do something stupid or something unwise. Maybe. How's that?
Something less than perfect, we'll call it.
Something less than perfect, in which I still enjoy my own company at that point. In my defense.
Now, are you like me that you have actually done something either in front of the girlfriend or to the girlfriend that you knew was going to get you in trouble, but it amused you to such a high degree that you went through with it anyway?
Okay, so I did it with my kid like about a month ago, and I'll tell you the story. Oh no, I can't tell this. Everyone's gonna hate me if I say this joke. Okay, it's a joke, right? And it's usually like we talk about the level of stuff that I talk about here, right? The kind of stuff jokes that I feel comfortable.
Just say allegedly and my friend. Don't tell it.
Allegedly, I said a joke, and the allegedly the punchline was, and that's why I hate your mother.
Yeah, I can see that going sideways.
Allegedly. And, I thought about it first. I wasn't even drinking, but it was such a good joke in the context. It was such a good joke. I had to say it.
You're a little like me in that if you walked by a big red button, would you push it first or would you ask first, right?
It matters how good that button looks at the time.
I was in the bottom of the HMCS Winnipeg. It's a frigate.
I just want to say about just 1 second. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I just want to say how good that joke is. I didn't even have to remember the punchline, the setup. That's how good it was. I just had to say the punchline. That's how good it was.
Oh man!
And that's why you should contribute to the Patreon.
That's right. Remember. Thank all those wonderful Patreons at the end of the show. I would. And you would think it's a trap.
I think a lot of things are traps, dude. That's my default. My default setting is that I think this is a trap. Whatever good thing is happening at the time, it's like,
that'll keep you alive for a while, right?
52 years so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 52 in a bunch of weeks.
Yeah, a bunch of yeah, indeed. We should wrap up because I got to go to work today.
Yeah, we're hitting that time.
Yeah.
It's been a blast chatting with you and John. Unfortunately, well, John's is he still here? Yeah, he's still here somewhere. Yeah. Having a good day with his kid.
Yep, indeed.
Fun people in the chat. Grant's here with us, hanging out with John and No Garfield. I still haven't looked that up yet.
Oh.
Yeah, Garfield minus Garfield is great.
Excellent. Well, panelists, thank you. Simply Secular Dave, Grant Farmer, keeping me on track, listening to my crappy jokes. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much. We're going to do the same crazy thing all over again tomorrow. Take care. And it's another.